game makes extensive use of sound. Play with headphones for the best experience. Occasionally, it may take control of your browser. It is not optimized for mobile. For content and trigger warnings, click here. The uncle that works for Nintendo. Welcome everybody, my name is of course Pentacrylix, and today we are playing The Uncle That Works for Nintendo. Now if you've been around YouTube, then you have seen Markiplier play this before. Not like Markiplier knows who I am, but still he's a good guy. Go ahead and check out his stuff. He's really good at what he does, and I look up to him. He's really just a great person. But anyways, and when I saw him play this, I thought I just had to play this for myself because this looks like amazing. And plus, I never really do any of this narrative, like a narrative story driven game ever on my channel, and considering that I need to get off my ass more often, I decided, you know what, why not do this? So, alright, what's our best friend's name? My best friend's name is none of these. My best friend's name is Brandon. Okay. Your best friend Brandon has invited you over to a sleepover at his house this weekend. You've been friends since first grade, so asking your mom is basically only a formality. So let's ask our mom. You never confirmed this, but you suspect the babysitter may charge extra when there are two kids. You sometimes feel like staying somewhere else is the only way you can help out. Yeah. Your best friend Brandon has invited. So only a formality? Okay, there we go. On a Friday night, you're home for only a few hours, long enough to pack, get in a fight with your younger sister, pack some more, watch some TV. At 6 sharp, you're standing on the sidewalk outside Brandon's house while your mom idles in her car nearby. She leans out the window to you. You behave yourself, okay? She says, as always. I'll be at work, but if anything happens, you call me. Yes, Mom. Yes, Mom. Okay, Mom. We'll go with that. I'll pick you up tomorrow at 3, she says, again as usual. But then she pauses, looking up at the sky, which has been overcast throughout the day. If you play outside, she adds, be careful. It's probably gonna rain. Kiss Mom goodbye, or wave goodbye. Wave goodbye. After you part, your mom drives down the street, disappearing around the corner. You turn back to Brandon's house. The lights inside are glowing warmly. You see Brandon waving at you from his bedroom on the second floor. Inside. It's 6 p.m. Alright. Up to a good start then. Alright. Brandon's mom meets you just inside. Hello, she says. Dinner will be ready in a few minutes, but you can drop your stuff off in the den. You and Brandon are camping out there tonight. Cool. You drop your sleeping and overnight bags in the corner of the den, and then pause to take a look around. Beyond the couch, a grandfather clock is ticking softly through a set of patio doors on the far side of the room. You can see the sky is just as gray as it was when your mom left. From framed pictures lined on the walls and over the fireplace hangs a monstrous pair of antlers from a buck that Brandon's dad shot years ago. God, I was choking. Shot years ago. And of course, there's a big screen TV. Sometimes it makes you uncomfortable how much nicer Brandon's house is than yours. Our character's a brat. Okay, anyways. You drop your sleeping and overnight bags in the corner of the den, then pause to take a look around. Behind the couch, a grandfather clock is ticking softly through a set of patio. Oh, I know. Wait, hold on. My bad. This is the same thing that we read. Brandon entered the room while you weren't paying attention, and now he stands in the doorway smiling expectantly. Are you ready for dinner? He asks. Yeah. Dinner passes quickly. Tonight's meal is spaghetti and meatballs, one of Brandon's favorite meals, as his mother points out while piling a helping on your plate. Brandon's father cracks a beer and joyfully interrogates you about how much trouble you and Brandon are getting into at school. Desserts is a heaping bowls of ice cream dribbled in chocolate sauce. You can't even finish yours. Cracks a beer. Wait, that wasn't a beer at all. It's a glass of lemonade. Why would you even think that it was a beer? Brandon's father doesn't drink alcohol. You're quite certain of that fact. Now that you've remembered. Well, whatever. It's the same thing, except this time he says lemonade. Alright. The grandfather clock in the den chimes. You go. Okay. You go along now, says Brandon's mom, smiling from her inside the table. We'll clean up in here. Let's go get the TV ready, says Brandon. The two of you leave the dining room and head upstairs. Brandon's room Brandon's room is immense. You stay in the den because the TV is larger there, but there's a sizable one here, flush with walls opposite the full-size bed. We'll take the 64 down first, says Brandon, heading towards his TV and opening the entertainment center cabinet. It's his prerogative, of course. He gets to choose what you play first, usually. But as Brandon begins unhooking the cords of the N64 from the TV, you catch sight of other things he has in there. All the major stuff: an old SNES, a PlayStation, and a Dreamcast. But some other things too, things you don't really recognize. A large black blocks with green highlights, a small purple one, a strange white one, and a yellow tower with what look like gloves resting on hooks on either side. A compact white cone. What are those? Brandon looks to the clutter in the cabinet. Oh yeah, he says. They're pretty cool. I can't show them to you though. They're still a secret. I promised my uncle. Of course. You suddenly remember his uncle. The uncle who works for Nintendo. God, that was such a that's a classic right there. In the corner, the grandfather clock is ticking softly. Through a nearby set of patio doors, you can see it's getting quite dark. Framed pictures lined on the wall. You walk around the perimeter of the den, inspecting the pictures idly. Most of them are family portraits from years past. Brandon cradled lovingly between his mother and father, or anyone, none of the three on their own. A happy, tidy family. Here's something else. Brandon is parking in front of the large TV, playing something on the N64. Talk to Brandon, watch Brandon play, go to the bathroom, go to the kitchen, and think about Brandon's uncle. Let's go back to frame pictures real quick and do something else. Not do something else. Look for pictures of Brandon's uncle. You don't find any. Not one. The only pictures here are of Brandon and his parents. You don't know why that makes you feel uneasy. Time passes. Okay. So now let's go to the bathroom. You head to the bathroom down the hall from the den. There's a shower, a linen closet, and a toilet. Let's look at the shower. The shower is persistently clean. Are you done here? Linen closet. It's a linen closet, but with large, fluffy towels and washcloths. You're not sure why you looked in there. Are you finished? Toilet. You don't have to go right now. Okay, well, let's go back. You head back to the den. The clock chimes. Alright, let's go to the kitchen. Passing through the empty dining room, you enter the kitchen, which is also deserted right now. Fridge. There are a few things here. Soda, cold pizza, milk, and water pitcher. Let's get soda. You grab a snack and exit the kitchen. You head back to the den. Let's talk to Brandon. What would you like to talk about? Let's talk about school. You and Brandon discussed the classes a few days ago when the teacher publicly chastised a classmate you mutually dislike. An hour passes. God, I'm never gonna get fucking used to it. Brandon's mother bustles into the room, holding a large ceramic bowl filled with popcorn under her arm. "How are you kids doing?" she asks. "Good," says Brandon, his eyes not moving from the television. "I hope you're having fun," says Brandon's mom. "Here's some popcorn, extra butter." He places it on the floor by Brandon. Almost immediately, Brandon is shoveling popcorn into his mouth. Meanwhile, his mom smiles first at him and then back at you. "There's sodas in the kitchen if you get thirsty," she says, "and some pizza from the other night if you get hungry." Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. He looks at Brandon. "Your father's gone to bed. I'll be there soon myself. I want you to keep it quiet, alright?" "Yes, Mom," Brandon says tiredly. "Oh, and before I forget," he adds, "your uncle called. He suddenly had some business here in town tomorrow, but he's driving in early. He'll be here around midnight." For the first time, Brandon stops playing his game, stops eating popcorn, and turns to look at his mother. "Okay," he says. "I want you two to welcome him in. He'll be tired. He'll be very tired and very hungry, so offer him something to eat before he goes to bed." "Okay, Mom. Good night, kids." And with that, he's gone. In the corner, the grandfather clock is ticking softly, though a nearby Oh. Let's ask about Uncle's visit. So, why is your uncle coming? Brandon shrugs. "Business." "But I thought he worked for Nintendo." "He does," says Brandon, frowning but not looking away from the TV. "He's really important there." Okay, well, that's a good old Mario noise right there. Oh, he's playing Mario Kart. Huh, neat. Does Nintendo have a lot of business here? "Why else would my uncle be coming?" Brandon says, as if you asked the dumbest question in the world. "Well, it's cool I finally get to meet him." "Yeah," agrees Brandon. "I think you'll like him." "What sort of work does your uncle do?" Brandon pauses the game and turns towards you, visibly agitated. "How should I know? I don't work for them." Right now, he's not quite yelling, but you think if you keep pressing the subject, he might. Sorry, I was just curious." You drop the conversation in silence. How about Brandon's uncle? "It began with Mew." You didn't believe it at first. When Brandon came to school one day and told you that he finally caught Mew. "Prove it," you said. So he pulled out his Game Boy and showed you. There it was. Mew, the 151st Pokemon. Available only to players at promotional events, somehow unlocked on Brandon's game. "It's really strong," he said. "It KOs every enemy in one hit." Brandon demonstrated this claim at recess, when you and some other friends linked to Game Boys to do battle. You were the first down. No one else got in a single hit on Brandon's Mew. You asked how Brandon managed to get it. Alright. Oh, well, hold on, I tried that. In a few days, everyone had quit playing Pokemon at recess. The allure had faded. Okay, we asked him how he managed to get it. "Oh, my uncle got a job at Nintendo," said Brandon. "And you were walking home together past one of the construction crews. Brandon still lived next door to you at the time." Let's try that. "There had been a storm not too long ago. Trees were down all over town. Buildings had collapsed. You were standing at the intersection with Brandon as a truck rumbled by, loaded up over the ragged tree trunks. What a bad storm." Okay, so at the time. Wait, this couldn't have been too long ago. When did Brandon move? There's something nice about being neighbors. Oh. "He also got me this new Game Boy," said Brandon, pulling it out of his pocket. You hadn't noticed it earlier, but yes, Brandon had a sleek new Game Boy Color. Until today, he had one of the old ones, a big gray brick like yours. This one's a special edition," said Brandon. "Isn't it cool?" You agreed. Snap out of your reflections. Remember your own Mew. Oh, this should be interesting. You got your own Mew, eventually. Another friend had a Game Shark, which you borrowed one day. You spent the entire night unlocking every Pokemon you couldn't obtain on your own copy of the game, or hadn't yet traded it for, including Mew. It didn't one-hit KO most enemies. It was incredibly weak. You shamefully cheated the game further to make it strong enough. It even looked different from Brandon's. I asked him why. Wait, hon. It looked different from Brandon's. Let's click on that. Your Mew was very small. Your Mew was small, even cute, standing there with its round, cheerful eyes. But when Brandon's had wiped out everyone at school, it had looked completely different. Compact, snarling, fierce. That's one fucked up Mew. You asked him why. What? He said. That had been here, in the den. Oh, that thing? Here in the den. Brandon had moved by then, but how long was it after the first storm? After he got Mew? You can't remember. It had been a while since anyone talked about Pokemon. Well, my uncle got me a special edition Mew, first of all, he said, smirking a little, but not looking away from the PlayStation game he was playing. That's why mine looked different. Second of all, mine can one-hit KO because it's the real Mew. I'm confused about that. You asked what he meant by that. Just what I said, Brandon replied. You cheated and got a fake Mew. So, of course there'd be problems, glitches, and junk. You felt your cheeks redden. But not me, Brandon said again. I got the real Mew, and only me. My brother was so jealous. Brandon's brother. What about him? Why does remembering that comment make you feel uneasy? You snapped out of your reflection. The clock chimes. Fucking hell. You are in the den. It begins raining outside. There's popcorn on the floor. You grab a handful of popcorn. It's buttery and delicious. Sweet. Talk to Brandon. Ask if Brandon thinks this storm was as bad as the last one. Do you think the storm is as bad as before? I don't like the sound of that wind. Remember that storm that tore down all the trees? I don't know what you're talking about, says Brandon. You don't remember? Remember what? The storm. It happened a few weeks ago. It was huge. It took down trees. I actually forgot until tonight. There was this huge storm a few weeks ago, I think. Brandon shakes his head. If it was important, I'm sure I would have remembered it, he says. Falls silent. Okay, let's ask him one more time. Let's try that one. Nope, he still says the same thing. Alright, what about games? You bring up the subject of the new Pokemon games through some rumors you heard on the internet when you were supposed to be working on the computer lab at school. Brandon, I don't know how to pronounce that, debunks or confirms everything you have to say, all based on, of course, what his uncle told him. An hour passes. The clock chimes. God! I should be used to it at this point, but I'm not. You were in the den. Ask about the uncle's visit. Your uncle stays with you when he visits? Yeah, says Brandon nonchalantly. He lives pretty far away, so he just drops by. Isn't that a little weird? Brandon gives you a look you don't like very much. How would you know? He asks. You don't even have an uncle. I guess so. Drop the conversation in silence. The grandfather clock. It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. There we go. Boom. Something else. Wait, hold on. Wait, it changed. You walk around the perimeter of the den, inspecting the pictures idly. Most of them are family portraits from years past. Brandon cradled lovingly between his mother and his father, or anyone and the three, or any one of the three on their own. A happy, tidy family. Wait, no, something is wrong here. Where's Brandon's brother? You know he has a brother. You know it, except he's not here in any of the pictures, and you think harder about Brandon's brother. He was older, not much, 1 or 2 years. A jerk sometimes, but not any more of a jerk than you are to your little sister. When it snowed, your mom would pay him to shovel the sidewalk outside your house. He lived next door. His name was... Can't remember his name. Ask Brandon about his brother. Is your brother... where is your brother tonight? Is your brother spending the night at one of his friends? Let's try this one. Brandon pauses the game he was playing and gives you an odd look. I don't have a brother, he says. But I remember him. There was a long moment of uncomfortable silence, broken only by a distinct thunder. The Nintendo and the clock ticking. Such a weirdo, says Brandon. And then he turns back to his Nintendo. The subject, it seems, has been dropped. Time passes. Let's look at the clock. Oh. It's 11:30. Call Mom? Let's go to the kitchen. Go to the fridge. Get some cold beef. Head back to the den. The clock chimes. 12. The grandfather clock chimes the hour. Brandon suddenly looks up from the 64. It's time, he says. Stop being weird. I don't want to play games anymore. Someone knocks on the front door. Fucking hell. That was loud. Okay. Stop it! That's him, says Brandon, standing up. I should go let him in. As he leaves the den, you realize you could follow, but part of you really feels like being scarce for a bit. I'll follow. The knocking continues persistently as... I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. The knocking continues persistently as you follow Brandon to the front of the house. Outside the pebbled glass of the front window, you can see a tall, dark shadow. Brandon goes to open the door, undoes the deadbolt, and cracks it open. You can come in, he says to whoever stands out there on the porch, then looks over his shoulder at you. Sorry, he says. Before he can ask what then he was sorry about, the door slams open. Hello, child. Come closer, child. No more worries, child. I am hungry, child. No more worries. Hello, child. Fear... Oh my god. Stop it, child. Hello, hello, child. Hello, child. Oh my god. Undefined error. Okay. The undefined error. You met the uncle who works for Nintendo. What? Okay, so there's more endings. Okay, so... things are a little weird here. Try to run, but it may turn out to be a game of hide and seek. Okay, so each of them have like different... Okay, so... Yeah, it's definitely weird here. You decide you don't feel like spending the night. Call your mom and ask to be taken home. Be sure you have enough time and for a ride to show up. How about for, let's see here. Some things you remember don't match what you see. Learn what you can. Ask questions. Have a serious talk. Don't be mean, but still, get out of there. Some things you remember don't match what you see. Learn what you can, ask questions, have a serious talk, don't be mean, but still get out of there. And then make what might be the worst decision ever. What? Okay then. So, I think... I'll try and get another ending. I think that's what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna go ahead and restart. Okay, one quick question then. Was your friend's father drinking beer? No, he doesn't drink. The clock chimes. 12. It's time, he says. Stop being weird. Someone knocks at the front door. I don't know why, but that's so freaking weird. That's creepy. But a part of you really feels like being scarce. I'm gonna be scarce for a bit. Where's there to go? Or to the bathroom. You run down the hall to the bathroom and lock the door behind you. Or at least, this could have been a bathroom. The walls are bare and white, and there's no sink or toilet, but there are some odd, featureless white boxes that could stand in for a shower and a linen closet. Go for the closet. You crawl into the plain white box that is about the size of a linen closet and close it behind you. From the front of the house, you can hear the front door slam open. After that, you don't hear anything except child. The rain. No, it's just the rain, but the voice in the back of your head like, I'm coming for you, child. Like something you can't even begin to describe. When you lock the door behind it, you hear it easily open. Someone walks in. Hold your breath. You're not sure how you know something is out there, but you don't exactly hear it moving. But you know it's there, and you know it's stopped. Right outside your hiding spot. It opens the door, even though you immediately realize it doesn't have any hands. And then, oh child, I'm so hungry, child. You can't run, child. Hello, child. Come on, child. Cease. I have friends for you, child. Friends for you in the dark. You will play forever in the dark. Okay. Yeah. The uncle who works for Nintendo. Run. You tried to hide, but the uncle who works for Nintendo found you. Alright. So, I think that's where I can call it a video. If you guys want me to try and play this again and get all the endings, then I will gladly do that, because this game is very unique. It's a very different style of game that I've played on this channel specifically. And most of all, it's just fun. It's a fun read, and it gives you a sense of horror into it, you know? And the more I think about it, the more ways I could possibly like try to get the other endings. So if you guys want me to do that, I will gladly try and get the other endings. But in the meantime, that is all for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, why not leave a like right down there, and how about leaving a good old comment down there as well. Why not subscribe as well? And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out. I almost said goodbye, but peace out.